Nurturing businesses with support and services to help them grow and bloom. The Time by Sagicor Bank is 7 o'clock.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orrett, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Tune in to Lead Story, weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than
Tonight in CVM News at 7, kidnapping crisis deepens in Nigeria. President of the Alliance of Yorubas in Jamaica speaks out. Government and opposition clash over untabled Integrity Commission report. And Hopewell residents stage protest over fencing of Orchard Beach. In traditional flavors, Jamaican greens add a twist to a Tex-Mex batter. While in the business report, the Liberty Business Brands official Jamaican launch. And later on in sports, Jamaica draw in Group E of the Under-17 World Cup. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Friday, May 22, 2026. I'm Carolyn Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. A quiet morning at the Orchard Bathing Beach in Hanover turned tense on Friday. Dozens of residents confronted persons attempting to fence the property. Now, among the crowd, longtime residents, beach users and visitors from overseas who stood their ground insisting the beach belongs to the people of Hopewell. Akeem Orrett tells us more.
A standoff erupted at the Orchard Bathing Beach in Hopewell, Hanover Friday morning after dozens of residents and regular beach users discovered that fencing was being erected at the popular community beach. The angry residents, some of whom say they have used the beach since childhood, insist the land was handed over to the community by the original owners of the Orchard property more than 50 years ago. The tense exchange quickly drew a crowd, with many demanding that the beach remain accessible to the public.
The Hopewell Citizen Beach is a public beach, and what really happened, we find out that this lady Dasa, who used to work as the housekeeper at Acha, tried to claim it by putting up these columns here to fence it off and claim it that is his property. And we have been using this beach for years.
I am attending swimming this beach over 50 years. We have been keeping this beach tidy, and I personally bought garbage bins and put there, and bought rakes and rake up the beach and to ensure that it's kept tidy at all times.
President of the Hopewell Citizens Association, Derek Wright, says the community is prepared to take the matter further to protect what they believe is a public space. Wright is also pointing fingers at the local authorities, questioning how the situation was allowed to escalate to this point.
Back in 2002, we have the local government ministry plan to develop the beach at a cost of 33 million then. In 2024, Tourist Enhancement Fund also plan to develop the beach. Now the parish council sit down there, idle, and let this lady want to fence the beach and capture the beach. No, so I can put the blame on the local authority.
In the meantime, the man who claims to be the owner of the property, declining to comment on camera, says the municipality was presented with the legal documentation of the property Thursday afternoon, and he was allegedly given the go-ahead to fence sections of the property. Anthony Nemard is president of the Seaview Drive Citizens Association.
No, I am troubled by this new information. This is fresh information. This is new development, because I have been wondering, why is it that the parish council is not here as yet to issue this stop order that I have heard about? Something is not right. I believe that the parish council needs to make a statement so that we, the citizens of Hopewell and its environs, can know the true story as it relates to the ownership of this beach property here in Hopewell.
Akeem Orrett for CVM News.
Well, in an update, the Hanover Municipal Corporation served a stop order on the alleged owners of the Orchard Bathing Beach property late this evening. The stop order took effect immediately and will run until the court makes a ruling. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie, while noting climate change is upon us, says Cabinet has activated a National Drought Management Committee to address worsening dry conditions. Other government officials have also responded to the controversy surrounding unspent hurricane relief donations, claims of shelter mismanagement, and debate over the Narrow Bill and Road Authority.
Your newly elected officers of Area Council 1.
When you go down by the polling station. Local Government Minister and Area Council 1 Chairman Desmond McKenzie welcoming the newly elected executive members of the council at the Tivoli Comprehensive High School on Thursday. But the celebrations were short-lived as government officials used the platform to address a number of controversial national issues dominating recent headlines. Chief among them, the $1 billion in unspent hurricane relief donations. Now, a recent Auditor General report revealed that of the $1.4 billion donated, just $26 million has so far been used. The findings triggered sharp criticism from the opposition and some civil society groups, but Ministers McKenzie and Favored Williams clapped back at critics.
December 2nd, last year, the Prime Minister said the money that comes in that's donated is going to go towards providing housing material for the people. So I don't, when people are saying we're not spending, but the Prime Minister said it was for a particular purpose. And we just seen the modular homes come in now. They're going to need a base. That's what most of the money is going to go towards.
Don't listen to the mischief makers. They will want to tell you otherwise. They will want to tell you that a thief will thief the money.
Minister Mackenzie then sought to address recent claims of shelter mismanagement.
We're trying to restore lives after Melissa. And I will be the first to admit that one of the things that we have not done well with is the question of shelters during Melissa. The magnitude of the hurricane was not something that we could prepare for.
Attention also turned to the Nara Bill and One Road Authority Act, both of which have faced pushback from the opposition.
Minister Morgan and his team came and we outlined the details of the One Road Authority. All PNP mayors was present. The consultation lasts for over 3 hours. They asked questions. And when the questions were answered, one of them said, "So what you bring me here for?" Because based on what we have heard, local government will be better off as far as the One Road Authority is concerned.
That aside, the minister says the government is now moving swiftly to respond to a recent advisory from the Meteorological Service of a Super El Niño phenomenon, which is expected to bring drier weather conditions to the island over the next several weeks.
Cabinet has activated the committee to look at the question of drought. I want the Era Council to listen to me. Climate change is upon us. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be experiencing severe drought conditions.
Amoy Orrett, CVM News.
The lack of clarity in the calculation of seniority increases and stalled fringe benefit negotiations were among the issues which caused an unrest among security, ancillary, accounting and clerical staff at the Jamaica Teachers Association, the JTA, earlier this week. Let's get more from Natasha Williams.
Just weeks ago, President for the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, Mark Malava, was in contention with the Ministry of Finance over outstanding balances, graduate allowances, and other entitlements owed to teachers. However, just days later, JTA staff employed in clerical, ancillary, and accounting roles assembled outside the JTA's Church Street headquarters to protest what they described as nearly a decade of unresolved compensation disputes. In response to these grievances, the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU, and JTA held several meetings to address the staff's payment discrepancies. Following their most recent meeting on Thursday, BITU Vice President Rudolph Thomas stated that progress has been made on the matter.
Some understandings of the sequence in which we will have to operate to resolve all 3 key areas has been met. The JT has indicated that where implementation is concerned, they need to get the ambit from their board to budget that kind of expenditure. And they are meeting with them in short order and will come back to us. But we are hopeful that the matter will be resolved because the workers are really anxious to have the issue behind them.
Mr. Thomas stated that the JTA workers have remained optimistic regarding the progress of the meetings and have agreed to suspend further industrial action. He indicated that a final resolution is expected by Tuesday.
They too are hopeful that the matter will be resolved. The JTA has indicated that they will meet with us on Tuesday with an update at that point, we're hoping that we will hear good news.
The BITU president says while it is not his place to comment on the JTA's execution of its role, he hopes Mr. Malava will apply the same advocacy he demonstrated in defending teachers' rights.
We hope the same veracity that is extended in their representation of teachers will be extended to resolving this issue, because support staff need support too.
In observance of Workers' Week, which centers in policy development, Mr. Thomas expressed hope that greater consideration will be extended to workers to prevent further disputes.
And we hope that the partners to any such issue engage in dialogue to avoid the flare-ups that are unnecessary, because it's something that we really don't like. It's not something that we relish at all.
Natasha Williams, CVM News.
And we'll continue with the CVM News at 7 right after this.
This is Flow, Jamaica's fastest mobile network, as verified by Ookla. It's the result of a complete network rebuild, with more power backup to reduce outages and satellite backup for greater mobile stability. You can even make regular calls using Wi-Fi. Welcome to our new era of connectivity, and we're not stopping there. This is Flow, Jamaica's network.
Finally said yes to onion rings. Now it's your turn to say yes to the onion ring zinger from KFC. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Already have a T-tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. You can now conveniently add funds to your T-tag on WhatsApp. Just save our T-tag WhatsApp number 876-355-3336 and send us a message when you want to top up. Top up your T-tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
Before the first patty is made, there are hands that raise it, hands that grow it, hands that move it, hands that bake it, and hands that serve it. For Jamaica, by Jamaica. Through challenges and changing seasons, they stood strong. They built with us. They believed. To every farmer, every team member, every partner, thank you.
We welcome you back with news that Nigeria is facing a growing security crisis as kidnappings for ransom continue to spread across several states. Armed bandits, extremist groups, and criminal gangs have targeted schools, villages, highways, and even places of worship. President of the Alliance of Yorubas in Jamaica has condemned the attacks and is calling for immediate action. Akeem Orrett tells us more.
Nigeria continues to face a worsening kidnapping crisis, particularly in the northern regions where armed bandits, extremist groups and criminal gangs routinely target schools, villages, highways and religious institutions. The issue gained global attention after the 2014 Chibok schoolgirls' abduction. In recent months, attacks have intensified again. In May 2026, more than 80 children were reported missing after coordinated attacks on schools in Borno and Oyo states. President of the Alliance of Yorubas in Jamaica, Dr. Wasiu Abayomi, has since condemned the attacks.
This is very alarming and it calls for action every Nigerians, either in Nigeria and in diaspora, needs to call on the government to make sure that the rights to life, property are being protected. And it is alarming, especially when our younger ones, our children are being kidnapped from schools. Then that is a greater concern for us in Jamaica as in Nigeria.
The president argued that many of the armed groups now operate primarily for profit. He says schools in remote communities remain especially vulnerable due to poor security presence and a slow military response.
These kidnappers have now turned into mafia style, which they demand ransom for the 4 families. And people have to contribute and pay because it's a soft spot now. But the government needs to deal with these evil acts in time because before it becomes a national epidemic.
According to UNICEF, thousands of children have been affected by armed conflict and abductions in northeastern Nigeria over the past decade. The organization has repeatedly warned that attacks on schools violate children's rights and threaten their access to education. In the meantime, Amnesty International says the Nigerian government has struggled to adequately secure rural communities despite several military operations and rescue missions. Dr. Abayomi says the emotional and psychological impact on families and children cannot be overlooked.
The fear, school that's supposed to be a safe place, become a place of fear. And what are we inculcating to these children? When they grow up and that is the fear they see, school now becomes a place where it's no longer safe. And the parents also started to see the government as a failure government. The truth of the matter is that Nigeria are so close to election period, which some of us believe is political motivated, but the young souls should not be mortgaged for some political elites.
Dr. Abayomi is calling on Nigerians living in Jamaica and members of the wider diaspora to speak out and support efforts aimed at protecting children and vulnerable communities.
The government needs to make sure that every schools have security in place. And teachers are being trained to deal with such issues. We need a safe school policy. The politicians should have the political will to do what they're supposed to do to protect the life and property of every citizen. The military, the police, all security apparatus, they need to come together and make school a safe zone, not a war zone.
Akeem Orrett for CVM News.
Back to local matters now. As Jamaica prepares for another hurricane season, Chairman of the Negril Destination Assurance Council, Richard Wallace, says hoteliers in Negril are in a stronger position to withstand the impact of any major storm. More in this report from Carla Ramdeen.
Chairman of the Negril Destination Assurance Council, Richard Wallace, says lessons learned from the impact of Hurricanes Beryl and Melissa have prompted hoteliers and tourism stakeholders to strengthen their disaster preparedness measures ahead of another hurricane season.
We are very prepared. One thing that Beryl and Melissa has taught us is to be prepared for hurricanes and to take them very seriously. So based on what happened with those two events, most people, if not, the majority of people who can afford it have hurricane-proof their resorts and their businesses. A lot of people now have solar, a lot of people have bought generators, a lot of people have, put in water systems, backup systems, and so we are as ready as we ever can be.
Mr. Wallace says while Negril's tourism infrastructure escaped major damage during the hurricanes, the sector continues to grapple with challenges caused by damaged roadways and prolonged power outages, some of which are still being addressed.
One of the things that affected us greatly was the loss of electricity for 3 weeks. And, I would hope that JPS has done some work to mitigate against that as well. So, but most of their poles are still above ground and all of that. So we would expect that if there's a hurricane, we may have some power outages. But as I said, most businesses, not just hotels, have installed not just solar, but generators and so on, are prepared as much as we can for it.
Mr. Wallace says that the approach of the hurricane season is expected to result in a temporary slowdown in visitor bookings, as some travelers remain cautious about vacationing in the region during periods of heightened storm activity.
Yes, it will affect some people booking their vacations. They don't want to be here during a hurricane, obviously. One of the things that we realize is the response after, because, you know, the international community rallies around whenever we have these things, and they help out a lot afterwards. And so we look forward to that if in the event that we have a hurricane as well. But yes, the hurricane season does affect the numbers somewhat.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Watch now as Jamaica spices at an earthy depth add another layer to a culinary tradition far from its origins.
Run it with saltfish or whatever meat you're cooking.
You want to call it greens or callaloo. This vegetable is going places here in Jamaica. Be it morning, noon or night. It's making juice, but today traditional flavor is going to show you something extra that this chef has come up with.
It was like turning a leaf from the street corner to the grounds of the 230 plus acres of the largest botanical garden in the Caribbean. In tune with nature, that's where we found him.
Hi, I'm David Brown from Pages in the Gardens. We are located in Hope Gardens. Hi, I'm David Brown from Pages in the Gardens. We are located in Hope Gardens. And today I'm going to do for you
something, don't tell them just yet.
Something very interesting and different. You're very familiar with both elements of it, but we're going to put them together and create something that you'll find fascinating, interesting, and of course, very new.
What part of the callaloo are we going to be using?
We're going to be using the leaf and some of the stalk, not necessarily all of the stalk. So we're going to basically pull it off like this, and we're interested in this part here. A lot of the things, Jamaican dishes, quite labor intensive, but nowadays we can buy callaloo in the supermarket. It's already cut up, and in some cases it's even washed, although I wash them just the same. And once you've gotten the leaves off, you're gonna cut them up. So we're gonna steam them. Yes, you know, you should steam it, but not all the way down so that it is soft, and because the next step will involve more heat and you don't want the callaloo to be overcooked. One of my philosophies is to utilize a lot of Jamaican products in our dishes, but to utilize them in ways in which we don't normally utilize them. And that is the key, to experience something new and fresh, but at the same time familiar. So when people come and recognize that this thing called callaloo is going to be utilized in the way in which we're going to be utilizing it in this secret dish, people say, whoa!
Which brings us to the basic wet ingredients.
There was one wet ingredient that I want to add at this point, and I could have added it before, but I like to add it at the end. A little oil. You can use butter if you want, or you can use olive oil or regular oil. This is a very forgiving recipe. Just relax and just let it flow. At some point you're gonna smell it, you're gonna taste it, and you're gonna know it's right. I'm gonna do a little taste now. More vanilla. The other thing that I do, I tend to use a lot of spices. When people taste stuff, they say, oh, this tastes good. It's not that I've done anything extra to make it good. All I've done was just use the right amount of ingredients. Maybe for economic reasons, people tend to hold back on some of the ingredients. I never do that. If you're gonna make it right. Put as much love and as many ingredients as you can to make the thing taste good. And you should know it tastes good before you cook it. Even at this stage, this is good. So I guess they can figure it out now.
We're adding the callaloo. What is
So here's the callaloo.
craziness could be making?
Yeah, this is a very crazy dish, but it works. Now this callaloo that we always do with saltfish or with pepper pot soup, we're doing it differently. We're baking the callaloo today. Not in a quiche, but in something else. I think we can tell them. What do you think?
We're going to pour, so I'm saying it's going to be a dead giveaway.
Once we start pouring, it's going to be obvious. Muffin. I'm going to use muffin pans. How about that? And I think everybody will know what this is.
Yes.
This is a callaloo cornbread muffin. And we actually developed this recipe here a couple of years ago. Found that our clients loved it. I think it was the taste, but I think it was also the novelty of it.
Next time, the origin, more of the twist and the taste.
Still more to come. Stay where you are.
Say yes to the new onion ring zinger from KFC. The time by KFC is
7:30.
There's nothing like a Jamaican greeting.
Hello.
Blessings.
Yo, man them.
Father Mold Wagwan! Celebrating 25 years of connection. Every call, every click, every message, and every shared moment. Digicel, powered by you, connected by us.
Already have a T-tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. You can now conveniently add funds to your T-tag on WhatsApp. Just save our T-tag WhatsApp number 876-355-3336 and send us a message when you want to top up. Top up your T-tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
The Quartz Labor Day sale is happening now. Get up to 50% off select items from May 21 to 24. Shop now and pay later on 6 to 48 months credit. You don't want to miss it. Quartz, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Before the first patty is made, there are hands that raise it, hands that grow it, hands that move it, hands that bake it, and hands that serve it. For Jamaica, by Jamaica. Through challenges and changing seasons, they stood strong. They built with us. They believed. To every farmer, every team member, every partner, thank you.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Time now for the Business Report with Joel Crossgill.
Lots to share with you in the Business Report today. As the spine of Jamaica's digital infrastructure is undergoing surgery, which, if successful, could propel not only faster speeds and deeper penetration, but also greater resilience for the communications future of the country. As the wounds inflicted by Hurricane Melissa are healed and identities are recalibrated to ensure that business as usual gains new liberties beyond basic continuity. Stephen Price, Vice President and General Manager of Flow, who also has responsibility for the Liberty business brand in Jamaica, emphasized the growing importance of trusted technology partnerships for enterprise-grade service.
In fact, being the largest provider in Jamaica means we carry both a privilege and a responsibility. I say this unbelievably just to understand just what has transpired since the hurricane. The traffic on our network has increased by almost 40%, right? Which shows you that we are making the pivot as a nation towards more digital services. I speak for the entire Liberty team when I say that we're incredibly optimistic about what Jamaica can achieve.
Formerly known as C&W Business, the company was officially reintroduced during a launch event at the Rose Hall Great House in Montego Bay, marking a significant milestone in the evolution of its enterprise business across the Caribbean and a moment of consequence for the second city itself.
It marks the continued evolution of a company that has grown alongside Jamaica's own digital journey for decades. We're also very deliberate in choosing Montego Bay for this launch. And one of the things I can announce officially, we are doubling down on Montego Bay. And we're going to launch and open our own Liberty Business headquarters in Montego Bay. We took the time to move a lot of our aerial infrastructure in terms of transmission underground. We made sure to go in the underground ducts. The old technology that we had in the past of copper, etc., we removed a lot of that infrastructure and we ran fiber underground so we can be more reliable in the future.
Operated by Liberty Latin America, Liberty Caribbean has operations in more than 20 markets across the region, with few, if any, more dynamic than Jamaica's.
We strengthened our infrastructure by expanding and diversifying our core network nodes. Real investment. And we have spent and we're investing up to date. We invested somewhere in the region of about 85 million already. We're spending somewhere in the region of 130 million in spectrum and physical infrastructure investment. And just remember, this is investment we're doing, again, after having gone through Beryl. So it's a significant cost to the business, but not a cost when we're investing in you, the Jamaican business community, and our people.
The Liberty executive says its new business arm is designed to help unlock present and future opportunities through digital transformation, navigating increasing complexity, cybersecurity threats, cloud adoption, and rising customer expectations.
We operate on one of the region's most advanced digital infrastructure networks, supported by approximately 50,000 kilometers of subsea fiber, more than 17,000 kilometers of terrestrial fiber, and connectivity across 30 markets and data centers across the Caribbean. We are a supplier to businesses. We're a supplier to our competitors. We supply our main competitors. We supply Starlink with connectivity. Better believe it, right? They're a customer and a partner in this world. We've invested in future-ready solutions, ensuring that even in the face of future disruptions, connectivity can be maintained. We're also rapidly expanding our satellite capabilities, which are already facilitating greater connectivity in hard-to-reach and underserved areas. Carrying the economy of Jamaica on our backs is both a privilege and a responsibility. With so many sectors depending on us, businesses, critical services, and entire communities, we had to respond with urgency, at scale, while prioritizing humanitarian needs and the most vulnerable communities first.
Which means finishing what's been started in fifth, according to Price.
We are in the middle of not only investing in upgrades, we're investing in the next generation technology. And in a few weeks, you may hear me shout 5. I won't say any more on that.
Until your next business.